Most people are not going to get what they want out of life. And the wild part is, it has almost nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with what they're willing to do when nobody's watching, when it's inconvenient, when it's uncomfortable, and when the results aren't showing up yet. We had conversations today with business owners from all over, people who showed up on purpose, people who are done waiting for permission to build something real. And every single one of them had one thing in common. They stopped doing what was comfortable and started doing what was required. Here's the quiet tragedy playing out in slow motion for millions of people right now. They want the outcome, but they're negotiating with the process. They want the financial freedom, the business, the portfolio, the legacy, but they want it on easy terms. And easy terms don't exist in the wealth building world. Think about it like this. You wouldn't show up to a marathon having only trained on the couch, but somehow we expect life-changing results from life-unchanged habits. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is almost always a behavior gap, not an intelligence gap. Now here's where it gets a little uncomfortable, and we're going to sit in that discomfort for just a second. Most of what holds people back isn't fear of failure, it's the low-grade, socially acceptable addiction to staying almost ready to invest, almost ready to start the business, almost ready to make the call. History is absolutely littered with people who had the right idea at the right time and still missed it because they were waiting to feel more confident, more prepared, or less scared. Confidence, by the way, is not a prerequisite, it's a byproduct of doing the thing before you feel ready. The mastermind concept has been around since Napoleon Hill put it on paper back in 1937, and the principle is embarrassingly simple. Don't figure out wealth alone when you can be in the room with people who've already built it. You don't reverse engineer someone's result, you reverse engineer their process, their decisions, their pivots, their failures, and their frameworks. There's a misconception worth destroying right now, which is that successful people are just lucky or well-connected or born into the right circumstances. Some are, sure, but the overwhelming majority of people building real, durable wealth are doing 3 to 5 things consistently that most people flatly refuse to do, and they do them without applause, without a crowd, and often without certainty. Here's your practical playbook, and it's not complicated. Find someone 10 years ahead of you on the path you want to walk. Study how they think before you study what they did, and then take the smallest possible version of that first step today rather than the perfect version of it never. Moderate risk taken consistently destroys cautious inaction every single time over a long enough timeline. The irony that almost nobody talks about is that the things most people won't do aren't even that extreme. They're just slightly outside the comfort zone, slightly inconvenient, slightly vulnerable. Show up to the event, make the ask, have the awkward money conversation, admit you don't know something, hire the coach, buy the property that scares you just enough. Discipline is not a personality trait that some people are born with and others aren't. It's a system, it's a structure. It's a set of decisions you make in advance so your future self doesn't have to negotiate with your emotions in the moment. Position size over conviction, process over timing, patience over urgency. That's the framework that actually compounds. And look, at some point this becomes philosophical. Because the question isn't really whether the strategy works. The question is whether you're the kind of person who does the work before the results arrive. And that's a question only you can answer, honestly. There's something genuinely clarifying about being comfortable with any outcome when you know your process is sound. Because then you're not gambling on results. You're investing in behavior, and behavior is the one thing you actually control in a world full of variables you don't. The score takes care of itself when the inputs are right. So the people who showed up today, the ones willing to be in the room, willing to be coached, willing to be wrong and learn and adjust, those are the people who are going to look back in 5 years absolutely stunned at how much changed because of one decision to stop waiting. You don't need more information, you need more implementation. Whether you're ready to invest in real estate, need contracting work done right, or want to connect with lenders who actually understand your goals, we can help you take that next step. So check out the links in the description below.